Oh. Wait till 7.
We have to wait till 7? Okay.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Not quite.
All right, welcome to the Village of Lake Bluff's Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals regular meeting on October 15, 2025. Shelton, if we could have called order and roll call, please.
Absolutely. We'll now call to order the Village of Lake Bluff's Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals regular meeting for Wednesday, October 15th. Starting with a roll call, Member Danley,
Here.
Member Fisher,
Here.
Member Miller, Member Russell,
Here.
Member Towle,
Here.
excuse me, and Chair Peters.
Here. Thank you. Agenda item number 2, Sheldon.
Yes, agenda item number 2 is non-agenda items and visitors. So the Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals allocates 15 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the board on any matter not listed on the agenda. Each person addressing the Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment on an item not on the agenda?
All right.
Hi,
Okay.
this is my first time.
Yeah.
Make 3 minutes start now.
Yeah, well, they'll start after you.
Okay.
State your name for the record and your address, please.
My name is Kate Gegg. I live at 400 Thorn Valley Lane in Lake Bluff. This property is next to 1010 Green Bay Road, which I know the board heard like an initial proposal for at the last meeting. And I happened to read the emails you all send out. I actually watched the meeting. And so I wanted to share my concerns. I only have 3 minutes, so I'm gonna highlight a few of my concerns that I wanna bring to your attention about this initial proposal. The property, 1010 Green Bay Road, I'm on good terms with Trent. He's lovely. We're thrilled with how he has renovated the property and taken care of the historic residents. But the property has gone under contract. It's been on the market for 2 years. He and his agent came in and said, hey, we have a buyer who might be interested. And that buyer wants to put a subdevelopment in, develop 2 additional properties on the lot. And since the last meeting, that house is now under contract, 1010 Green Bay Road. So putting 2 and 2 together, I assume the buyer that he is under contract with is the buyer that was mentioned in this meeting. So I wanted to bring some items to your attention as I assume you will soon be hearing from this developer about splitting up the property. I sent a letter, it's long. I'm gonna summarize 3, maybe 4, depending on my 3 minutes, points that are of particular concern to me and I know some of my neighbors. The first is there's already a pre-existing issue with flooding on Thorn Valley Lane. The way that there's some kind of investigation happening. I'm not sure how all of this works, but water pools from Trent's property, it comes onto our property, and then it essentially travels down the street. So there's reason to believe that if, especially the property to the southern, you know what, I brought copies of would it help for you guys to have the map picture
Yes.
while we're
you
talking
could
about this?
include
Let
that.
me pass that out.
And we did obviously receive your letter
Okay.
dated 10/7.
Yeah, okay. I brought a bunch of these. Thank you. Okay, so the portion to the south, proposed lot 2, essentially abuts my property in its entirety. So as you're getting this, water pools on lot 2 and in my lot as well. It's not just Trent's lot. And then it travels across the lots and then down the street. And there's quite a bit of flooding that happens. Our house has the least amount of, our house itself doesn't have flooding, it's our property, but there are other homes on our street that are regularly affected by flooding because of the water flow. So that's point 1. If there is a more formal proposal that comes, I will speak a lot more to this, but this is just the first point I want to bring to your attention. The second point is that the realtor mentioned she wasn't sure if there are wetlands on the property. It's my impression, it's my neighbor's impression that lot 3 in the north, yes, the northeast corner would qualify as wetlands. There's a bunch of water, there's cattails growing out of it, there's frogs. I don't know what someone else would have to determine if that qualifies as a wetland, but we have concerns about what would happen if that area were disturbed. That's the second point. The third point is that I didn't live here when Trent renovated the house. I only have been here for 2 years, but it's my understanding that he cut down a huge number of trees in the renovation of the property. If you look at the pictures, the overhead pictures that were supplied by his agent, you'll actually see that his property and the golf course are the only 2 properties with bird's eye view that don't have these huge, large protected trees that every single other property in the area has. And so whether or not Trent, paid the appropriate fines and got the appropriate permits, the issue of concern for us is people who are, who purchased a 1.5 acre property, were working meticulously to keep the protected trees and cut down just the buckthorn, is we're concerned about the precedent it sets to permit someone to cut down a host of protected trees, pay whatever fines, follow whatever rules need to be followed, only to then be able to sell off the property to develop it. So that's point number 3. And then point number 4, and I have other points, I will come back if needed to discuss those. But point number 4 is that this is a beautiful, quiet little corner of Lake Bluff. And there's tons of wildlife over there. Every year we have baby deer over there. We have, it's not lit. It's about as quiet and as sprawling a spot as you can find in Lake Bluff, aside from the lakefront. It's one of the reasons that we chose the property we chose. We looked in Lake Forest, we looked all around. We knew we wanted a lot of land. We preferred to be in Lake Bluff. We chose this area, and we know our neighbor did too, because of how quiet and how private it is. And if someone were to build a property here and a property here, let alone what it does to the historic nature of the house, we could talk about that as well, or the property. But all of a sudden, Tangley Oaks, which is a conservancy, and this big open sprawling space and all these other properties are crowded with 2 additional homes. And I'm concerned it would disrupt wildlife, and I'm concerned, quite frankly, it would disrupt our privacy. So I have a lot more I could say about it. This has been more than 3 minutes. Thank you for your time. And if needed, you'll hear from me again.
No, thank you. Thank you for your letter and thank you for appearing.
Okay,
Have a good night.
you too.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here in person or on Zoom that would like to make a comment on non-agenda items? Seeing none.
All right. Agenda item number 3. Consideration of the September 17, 2025 meeting minutes. I trust that the commissioners have all had a chance to review the minutes. Any proposed corrections, revisions, or other changes?
Have a couple, and Shelton, I will give you the red line, so you don't have to be nervously scratching in the changes. On page 3, there was a comment made about, I recommended that 1750 shore acres down at the 4th paragraph be restricted to 3,783 square feet, but there's no reason in the minutes as to why I came up with that number. So I've suggested that it's because the maximum allowable FAR for the existing lot was that number. So it was to keep them at what they had before. And then there's 2 little tiny typos, and I'll just give those to you. That was the only thing changed.
All right. Thank you, Member Russell. Any, Ms. Fisher?
Just on page 4, the first full paragraph down on line 3, I think Ian Spence and Joe Cogswell were from an engineering firm. I think Joe Cogswell was from an arborist. So I'm not sure, but I don't think he was an engineer, because he later commented or was brought forward to talk about the trees. So
Yeah, thank you.
that's all.
Any other proposed revisions or other changes? Hearing none, seeing none. Is there a motion, please?
Move to accept with the changes.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. 4-0. All right, agenda item number 4, if you want to introduce that, Shelton.
Agenda item number 4, in order to construct a prefabricated shed at 400 McLaren Lane, property owner Christopher E. Bennett is seeking a variation from section 1059 accessory buildings and structures of the zoning regulations to allow an accessory structure in the required front yard setback. Mr. Bennett is here tonight to present his plan. The PCZBA is a recommending body on this matter. This request will need to go to the village board for final determination.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Chris Bennett?
Yes, if you could raise your right hand, we'll swear you in. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
And then if you could state your name for the record and your address.
My name is Christopher Bennett. I live at 400 McLaren Lane in Lake Bluff.
All right, please proceed.
I was told I should refer to my application and then just open it up to questions.
Yes, yes. I think preliminarily, the more critical points might be the standards of variation. I don't know if you have a copy of your application here.
I don't actually.
Okay.
Got one.
Okay. Yeah, the only copy I had was the one I gave you guys.
And then we'll adopt and incorporate by reference the document standards. I just had one general question. Response to code purposes. That one I found a little bit confusing.
All right. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm sure all of it was confusing.
Oh, okay. You didn't work with the village on a draft response?
No, not at all. I did have an advisory meeting with you guys at one point, many months ago, where it was determined that this was the only approach available, basically.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll open it up to general questions. Who'd like to start?
I don't have any questions. We've went through it before. You're proposing to put a shed along an existing right of way. That right of way, in all likelihood, will never be developed into a roadway. The larger setbacks, or if there would be a roadway there. And there may be a pedestrian path constructed into the property to the west, but you wouldn't need a significant setback for that. So I don't have any questions. It's a unique condition because there's no road in the right of way.
Ms. Fisher?
Yeah, and I just kind of restating my understanding to make sure I got it right. It is a permanent structure, foundation and that kind of thing. It's not a temporary.
It actually would just be a wood frame with stone put down, not cement.
Okay,
So, I mean,
so okay.
quasi-permanent.
Right. Okay, and then just matching the survey with the visual of driving by, your yard is fenced to the south. The fence is on the southern lot line, I'm assuming.
Yes,
And this would be inside the fenced area.
Yes.
You're not vacating the road. And I think that was all, just to make sure I was seeing it the way it was written here.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Fisher. Ms. Daly?
I'm just curious, and the reason why, though, you didn't put it back to not be in front of us today, like 20 feet farther in? Was that the hardship if you can explain your hardship?
okay, well, that image there is the way it used to look. with, I think with the buckthorn and everything, it's been cleared out. And I did originally actually think of putting it over there. But I was talking with my neighbor and right here, and he didn't really say so much, but it was pretty obvious he wasn't super happy with how it was going to look from his property, because now it's now that all the buckthorn's cleared out, it's a pretty clear view from his house. Yeah, I did try to do some corn. That didn't work out so well.
Is there some foliage that's gonna be around the,
There are, well, if you look at the packet that I printed, you can barely see, if you look really carefully, I roped out where the shed would actually go.
Right.
If you look really carefully, you can see the exact spot. It's between a bunch of trees.
okay, I see.
And I'm actually thinking of putting more trees. We've both been planting trees to kind of maintain a little more privacy.
Thank you.
Did you, now that I see the aerial that's up there, I'm assuming that's the current aerial from Lake County, 2024, Shelton? So the survey that you plotted the shed on it's an older survey. You must have done some extensive expansion to your house. It's not matching.
Yeah, it does. I did not do the expansion. But someone did.
It is very, very old.
It seems to be very old, yes. Yeah, it does not look at all like, I think you get a better view if you looked it up on Google Maps.
Yeah, okay. The important thing is you're going to be 10 feet inside your lot line, and
Yes.
15 feet off your rear lot line.
Yeah, approximately.
Well, if you get approval for a variation, it's got to be at least a minimum of 10 and a minimum of 15, not 8 and 12.
Yeah, well, I measured it out based on those ropes that I put on the photo. That was 10 and 15.
Okay, well, the building department, when you turn in your plans, you're gonna have to give them a specific dimension off the lot line, and then that will be checked when you install the shed, so just a word
Yeah,
to
okay.
the wise,
All right.
meet those minimums.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Okay, anything from the public? If you'd like to speak, sir, we'd have to swear you in, but if not, you're fine.
Don't think I need to say anything further.
Okay, all right.
Is there anyone participating virtually who would like to make a comment? There's not.
All right. Is there a motion, please?
I move to recommend to the village board that they grant the requested relief in the form of the attached draft ordinance.
Second.
Any further discussion? We could have a vote, please.
Absolutely. Member Danley?
Wait, before we do this, can we just make sure, can I make a
Sure,
comment still?
sure.
Can we just make sure that this is, sufficiently anchored, and perhaps we can get some more landscaping or some requirements on it? I just, to be putting up these sheds, and I know it's an unusual land, and the road's never gonna be developed, and I know it's an exception, but we do have this in our policy, so you just worry about just putting something in on gravel and
Yeah,
and just add something in there that this is, gonna be more of a permanent structure or fully found, and perhaps some landscape or care about it.
my understanding is you have to have a minimum of 2 anchors, 1 on each corner or something like that. This is actually going to have 4 anchors. That's what the Tough Shed brings when they install it.
So they install it.
Yeah.
Does it have a
How much does this weigh, something like this?
Oh, I have no idea how much it weighs.
Is it blowable? I mean, if you have a really strong wind, it's pretty big. I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna move.
It's pretty strong.
Guess they call it tough shed for a
Yeah.
reason.
What sort of additional foliage were you considering?
More of the stuff that remains green all year. That's what we're putting between our property to kind of,
Arborvitae type? or-
yeah, exactly.
Okay, just around a few sides or parts of a few sides?
Yes, exactly.
So I know it's mentioned, is that something that we need to state that, you
We-
know, that
I
to
mean,
put
we
the
could-
arborvitae in?
Yeah, we could incorporate that as a proposed condition, Ms. Danley.
That would be my recommendation.
Which sides again, sir? Were you thinking about additional foliage, some arborvitae?
It would be, well, I mean, you have there's two photos
Right.
of the area, so you can kind of see what it would look like from the street, basically. And you can kind of see how you can barely see it basically from the street, but, it would be to block that. So you wouldn't see it
So more on the
even,
east.
even
and
as much
south.
as it would be. Excuse me?
More on the east side and the south side, it looks like.
Yeah, east side, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, it's hearsay, but 2,000 pounds.
Thank you.
Any other just points of discussion? All right. Well, I guess,
Just so we're clear, so where it stands is we currently have a motion and a second to approve just in the form of the ordinance as presented, which does not include the conditions. So if the PCZBA does want to include the additional conditions suggested by Member Danley, we would need a new motion for that,
okay,
just to be clear.
thank you. Ms. Wells, Ms. Danley, would you like to?
Well, I'd like to make a new motion to move to recommend it, requested the relief in the form, not in the form of the draft ordinance, but in the requirement to add additional landscaping as discussed or verified.
And appropriate footings or however.
Right. I feel like after I see this, the standard specifications, I think the footings seem to be pretty clear. I just saw this on the back of their tough shed. I don't know if we need to list that. I just wanted to make sure that the landscape would actually happen.
Any further discussion? Hearing none?
Need a
We need a
second.
second, yeah. Okay. All right. Can we have a roll call, please?
Member Danley,
Aye.
Member Fisher,
Aye.
Member Miller,
Aye.
Member Russell,
Aye.
Member Toll,
Aye.
Chair Peters.
Aye. Next steps for the petition.
We will reach out.
Okay.
It'll go to the village board for consideration. At the next meeting, presumably on the 27th of October.
Okay, but it has to go through two meetings, right? That's my understanding.
And we'll reach out about that,
Okay, so it'd be like mid-November-ish.
most likely.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Hopefully it's not snowing by then, but.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Agenda item number, staff
It
report.
matters now.
There was an addition.
Just that.
Yes.
That's that.
That's all right.
Okay, well, we are planning for Tesca to come kick off the R5 regulation review at our November meeting. And there will be more to come on that from Clara.
All right. Agenda item number 6, Commissioners Report.
I will not be here next month, but I'll try and zoom in if we're gonna have a Tesca revisit us.
All right, we appreciate that, Member Russell. Okay. Agenda item number 7, motion to adjourn. Is there such a motion? So moved. Second? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you.